You're live. Hello. I don't know why I'm singing like this. Right. Hello, everyone. I'm going to grab my coffee, and also I need to lock the front door. So, 1 second. I'm not late, though, because I'm live. Getting the coffee. The coffee is retrieved. All right. Right. I need to organize some windows. Pop out chat. I will put that there. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Joke's on you, I hate making money. Right, let's put that there, and that there. Good, all right. What's my phone doing? Huh. Okay. My phone randomly decided to charge to full instead of to 80%, but okay. Right. Hello, folks. We are here for another solo podcast. Caradog still in Monaco. We'll be back next week. However, there's another solo one for me today. I've got some more bits and pieces to fix up. So we're going to sit and do that. I've got the other one of these PS Vitas to look at. So I need to get those back out again. The black one was a success. Once that charged up, it worked just fine. So that was awesome. So we need to look at the red one to have a look at the headphone jack on that. I intended to buy another headphone jack preemptively, but I forgot. Apparently, though, it just needs resoldering, so we'll see. Everything else my friend said about them was basically on the money, so, you know, maybe he's right and it just needs a soldering touch-up job on it. I've also got another one of these Marley get-together speakers, which has a busted USB port. So I figured I might start with doing this because this should be really straightforward. So yeah. And yes, it's not the same as the other one. This is just another one of these. It's a popular speaker. I guess maybe it's just on sale at John Lewis or something like that. But it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because it's a good-looking speaker. I don't, you know, I'm not surprised that it's a popular model because, yeah, good-looking speaker. So yeah. Right. Busted, that one's been violated. Yeah, they all look like that. Because the problem is that if the port, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So people will just keep trying to plug it in. And it baffles my tiny brain, the fact that people cannot look at a port like that and see that it is broken. So many people will bring in, they'll be like, oh, I'm plugging it in, but it's just not charging. And I'm like, yeah, the port's mangled, dude. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I'm not technical. I'm like, my brother in Christ, you don't need to be an engineer to see that that's jeffed. You know, like, what's wrong with you? So yeah, the Linux test went well. Video is still in progress on that. I've recorded all of the voiceover. It's in editing. It's a long and boring edit, and I've not been very motivated to edit video lately. But yeah, I've got an easy video that I finished recording today, so there'll be an easy one. So our video goes out just after the weekend because I'm very conscious of the fact that the videos have kind of slowed down. But yeah, the burnout is real. It's short. I'm burned out on creating stuff at the moment. So it's not that I'm quitting or anything. It's just hard right now. So yeah. Live content is a lot easier to do because you just have to click go live and talk. But yeah, actual structured recorded content is hard work. USB-C mod it? No, it's not necessary. Not necessary. It's just a pain in the ass. You've got to rewire it and stuff like that. And yeah, like 9 times out of 10, people will have a dedicated cable for an object. So it doesn't matter what type of cable it is. Let's start working on it while I talk. Turn off the shop phone. It's automatic now. I now have VoIP. Yeah. Although, that much being said, it did ring last Saturday. When did I? It's got. So I use WebEx now, and what did I set the away time to? Yeah, I was. Where is it? Notifications? No. Availability? There we go. Manage quiet hours. Oh yeah, the quiet hours on WebEx are kind of awkward to set up. And I haven't quite figured out a way of setting up quiet hours in a useful way, because like my quiet hours schedule, you specify what days the quiet hours apply to, and then you specify a start time and an end time. So the problem is that by default, your start time is when you close and your end time is when you open. But this doesn't work because you can do it on a per day basis. So like if I change that to custom, so this gives me, so now for example on Saturday I close at 3 o'clock. Yeah, hang on a sec. I'm trying to think how how this worked. I can't remember. I tried to set it up, and for some reason or other, because I can only specify one range, I couldn't configure it in such a way that I was satisfied with. The other thing that's annoying me about quiet hours on WebEx at the moment as well is I can't override it. As soon as I'm in quiet hours, I can't override quiet hours. So that's also annoying me, because if the phone goes on to quiet hours, I don't have any means of overriding that and being like, no, actually I am here, I am available. So anyway, the point is whatever. I don't know what I'm even talking about now. I'm still figuring out WebEx, and the app has limitations on it. So I need to do more experimenting to see if I can figure out how to resolve that. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Was this not USB-C already? No, that's USB micro. So yeah, a lot. Don't forget, if you want to properly implement USB-C, then it has to be power delivery compliant, which greatly complexifies the device. So a lot of modern devices are not USB-C because they would have to be spec compliant, or you be Chinese and you just don't care, and then you have devices where you plug in a power delivery charger and it doesn't work because it's not spec compliant. So yeah. Also all the scratches. Yeah, that'll happen. That's just from people plugging in cables blind and stuff. So. Normally you'd blame micro USB for being frail. Yeah, to be honest, Type-C is just as vulnerable. The problem is not the port design, but the quality of the port. Because, you know, like when micro USB came out, it was intended to be a rugged port, but then the issue is that the industry figured out the cheapest possible way to make that port, and the same thing has happened to USB Type-C. The Type-C port, now it's been standardized. People are figuring out the cheapest possible way to manufacture that port, and so that means you can get devices with USB Type-C that are just incredibly weak. Oh dear, I'm not sure if I've got the correct port for this. Uh-oh. Damn. I thought this was going to be a surface mount one, so I've got a widget here that I was going to steal the port from. Oh, this might be a bust. Let's get the circuit board out, and we'll get the circuit board out, and we'll have a look if I've got a spare one. Okay, right. Screws, and then Actually, I think I can pull this through. There's gunk on the back that stops this from actually lifting out. I might be able to just pull it through. I'm going to try doing that first. Whoop. Let's see. Oh, I think that's kind of rigid, actually. Jinxed it by saying it would be easy. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's rigid. No, we've got to open it up. Okay. I've got a big collection of just. I need a big screwdriver here. I've got a big collection of micro USB ports, but I think I've used up all the useful ones on it now, and that collection is just full of all of the wacky ones that don't make any sense. Big screwdriver. A+ for it being easy to get to. Yeah, it's not a lot of use. Ugh. It being easy to get to isn't a lot of use if you can't take it out. I mean, it bears mention. Ugh. I wonder if you could do it in situ. Oh no, that would be monstrous trying to do that. Like, I don't think I could reasonably... Oh, should I try? Could I hot air that in situ? Like, we've got plastic all around it, but this is going to be ABS plastic. If I went in at like 320 degrees, maybe I can remove that in situ. Yeah. No. If it was my speaker, I would try that. What happened to that screw? It's still in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if it was my speaker, I would try that out. But if I get it wrong, then I'll melt the case. Ugh. Just take the last 2 screws out. The last 2? No, there's like 10 screws to come out here. And then we've got to open the whole thing up. These things aren't difficult to disassemble, but there is a fair amount to them. Wires will melt, you reckon? Not convinced. I think what I'd be more worried about is damaging this rubber gasket around the reflex driver. This screwdriver is slightly too big. No, I'm going to have to go back to the... I'm going to have to go back to the wearer. Oh, gosh. Come on. Oh, bloody hell. These screws are hard work. Nope. It's going to have to be this guy. The hole is just is the exact width of the shaft of this screwdriver. So it's hard work to use the big screwdriver, but the small screwdriver just doesn't have the elbow grease. There we go. Oh, that's... no, this isn't working. Okay. If the reflex driver is real, they are real. So there's this is a passive. This is a passive radiator, is what they're known as. There's no actual speaker coil on this. But the back pressure from the main drivers causes this guy to move, so it transmits that back pressure into a panel that relays the sound. So yeah, they are a real thing and they do work. Jesus wept. Gonna have to do a wiggle to get this out. There's been a mass spate of Ring doorbell thefts. How strange. I'd say they're doing you a favour, to be honest. Remember, folks, Ring are building a surveillance state. If you have a Ring doorbell, you're basically just giving free access to all of that to the police. This is not tinfoil hat, this is facts. There we go. I've had the idea of making a bigger sleeve for that screwdriver. No, because normally if you need a bigger screwdriver, then you get a bigger screwdriver. This is just one of those specific areas where the bigger screwdriver won't fit. Just these particular screws are just brutally tight. Alright, it's fine. Next one. Oh. Whew. There we go. That's what she said. Yeah, I know. I'm making... There's a lot of grunting going on here, so... Oof. However, I'm making progress now. I think I've figured out a technique here. Speaker technology is scary, as long as it sounds okay. Yeah, they do sound pretty good, these. Modern speaker technology is pretty amazing, in my opinion. It never ceases to amaze me how much sound you can get out of such a small device now. I still say buy the biggest speakers you can fit, because they will fill the room better. But if you actually want something small and portable, it is pretty amazing what these small ones can actually do. The Proxon set? No, not a chance. Ugh. That ain't gonna fit in there. That's the problem with multi-bit screwdrivers. As soon as you come up against this, you're done. You're completely done. That's why I don't use multi-bit screwdrivers. Like, the Proxon set is handy when you need specialist drivers. That's when I use it. But there's a reason why I use wearers instead of a multi-bit screwdriver set. Because you ain't fitting a multi-bit screwdriver set into any recessed screws. Ever. So, yeah. There's a long one in the bit set. Or I can just use a screwdriver. Like, what are we doing, you know? Right. There we go. I think that's all of them. That one's still there, but that's loose. Good. Okay, this should come apart now. So now that should split. Something LTT never shows for their screwdriver. Yeah. It does depend on what you're doing. You could, you know, I mean, it's true though. Extensions do solve this problem. But, oops, a little bit too fast there. Okay, here we go. Right. Chunky boys. Okay. Right, so now I need to just put some heat onto this glue just to soften it so I can pull through some slack on the wires and free all of that up. Let's unplug that. You can see why I was entertaining the idea of doing this in situ now, because I knew what was coming with this one. The last one of these we did was a lot easier, but this specific model is difficult. Right, can I unplug the drivers? I think I can. Oops, the whole card is coming out. Actually, is that a bad thing? Yeah. Okay, hang on a sec. There we go. Right. There's the drivers. Those can go elsewhere. Right. Okay, right. some warmth onto there, and I can pull that through. So I'm going to set my hot air to, I don't know, let's just go 100 degrees, no nozzle, and see what that does. Pliers. Yeah, that's getting tacky. I'm trying to push it through. Oops, glue's starting to boil. Yeah, okay. This is working. This temperature isn't enough to damage the wires, but it's enough to make the glue go gooey. The hot snot. Okay. Can I get a bit more of that before that solidifies? That'll do. Okay, right. I've pulled through enough of that to work on now. Cool. In before the wire insulation has a lower melting point than the hot glue. If you had insulation that had troubles with 100 degrees C, I would be very worried about your insulation. 100 degrees ain't a lot. Is that their way of making it water deterrent? No. This thing isn't meant to be waterproof because, like, otherwise this is all completely exposed. The point of that is to make an air seal. The inside of the chamber should be airtight, so that way all the back pressure from the drivers goes directly into that passive radiator. With speakers, you want the with a speaker setup like this that's not ported, you want it to be airtight, so the back pressure is transmitted into this radiator, which then vibrates and retransmits the sound. Then the other alternative would be what's called a ported speaker, where you have a hole instead of a radiator like that, so the sound waves can then just come out the back. So yeah. Can you unplug the daughter board? No, that's soldered on. I could desolder it, but I don't need to. Because what I'm going to do now is that. Cool. Alright. Right, I'm going to hot air this guy off. And then we'll see if I've got a replacement one. This might be a short-lived adventure, because as I say, I'm not convinced I've got a suitable port for this, which I'm a bit sad about. Cool. Right. Put nozzle back on hot air. Actually, I'm going to put the straight nozzle on it because I've got space for it. Yep. Straight nozzle is better if you can. Okay, let's go 380. It's not a heavy PCB. We shouldn't need big temperature for this. Tweezers. Where are my tweezers gone? There they are. Zoom down a little bit as a treat. Oh, I probably should have put some leaded solder on this first, but it's a little one-sided PCB. We should be fine. There we go. Anyone catch or follow the moon rocket? I didn't myself. I think it's cool, but I haven't been following it directly. That picture of Earth they took was super cool, though. You could see the Aurora Borealis at the North and South Poles. That was amazing. Perhaps check my stock before desoldering. I mean, it's got to come off anyway. It's not like I'm going to leave the old one on there. Right, so... where did I just put that down? Oh, there. Okay, that stands up a little bit. So can I make this surface mount one fit? No, not a chance. Okay, right. Let's get the collection out and see if I've got any. Big USB ports. Right at the top. 100 popular USB types, also known as 90 unpopular USB types and 10 actual useful ones. As I say, I think I've had all the good ones out of here, but we'll have a look anyway. Hello, SciTech. Welcome, welcome. The problem they have with Outlook, yeah. I haven't seen much more than just a headline and a couple of articles that didn't actually talk about the problem at all. Just apparently they had issues with Outlook, but I haven't heard anyone actually talk about what those problems were. A lot of articles that I just copy-pasted without actually explaining what was actually going on, which is very annoying. Where did I just put the original? There. Alright, time to go on a hunt. So I need something that is through-hole and stands up a little bit. So I'm going to start putting all the surface mount ones back in. Ooh. That's recessed a little bit, but... no, the pin pitch isn't... no, pin pitch is no good. No, no. That is through hole, but it's not tall enough. Stop putting all the weird ones back in. Oh, what are you? Oh, you're a weird two-pinner. No. The hell is that? SE. No. May. I don't think so. That's quite a wide footprint. Yeah, nope. What are you? You've got weird pins on you. Nope. Ah. What is this? Oh, this looks like it's... yeah, it's not tall enough. Nope. This is pretty standard fare. Could I make that fit? It's not tall enough. No. Darn. Like, I could easily make any one of these fit, but the problem is that I need it to be slightly tall, otherwise it won't line up with the hole in this cover. And again, if it was my speaker and I didn't care, I would just Dremel out the hole slightly, but because it's a customer speaker and I actually want it to be a factory finish, that's a no. Oh, there's a USB 3 one. USB 3. What are you? No. You've got weird pins. No. Anchors are too wide. Flat. upside down, upside down, upside down, surface, too wide, too wide, too wide. You're a square. Surface, surface, surface. I think this is a bust. Pretty sure that the last time I did one of this specific model, I had to order one anyway. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing one in there. Gosh darn it. Have I got anything I can steal one from? No, I don't. Right, hang on a sec. Catching up on the thing. Happy 200,000. Thank you very much, Dana. I was very happy to see that milestone come around. I kind of thought I was going to be on like 175,000 for forever. But yeah, it is going back up again. I really want to make a big push this year. If I can get to 250,000 subs, that would make me very happy. That's the next milestone I'm aiming for. Like, I'm not going to do a 200,000 special. I'm aiming for 250. Then I'll celebrate. Mainly because the last subscriber special I did at 150,000. So I kind of want to get a bit further away from that before I celebrate again. Let's see. If you have another bag, put the surface mount ones in the bag of a bag. Oh, yeah. I could separate them out. Like I said, to be honest, I hardly ever get these ones out anymore because I've kind of just gotten all the useful ones out of here now. And I rarely find that this has what I'm looking for in it anymore. I've just used up all of the common ones. I'd tidy the hole with a file anyway. Maybe. Did I say no stream tomorrow night? Correct. I'm seeing family tomorrow on Sunday. So I might be home in time to stream, but I'm just going to cancel anyway, just so I don't have to hurry. And just take the night off. So yeah, no game stream tomorrow. Super chat £1 now to buy Graham another 100 wrong parts. No. Okay. Right. Done. Can I think of anywhere else, anything else that I've got kicking around where I could steal this? I'm kind of tempted to just... I wonder if I could put this on and then make it stand up or something. No, I'm not messing around with that. There's no way around this. I'm just going to have to get the correct port. That one would sit like that. How low would it be? So if we take this module as the example, that would be sitting at about that height. So yeah, it's only like a 1 millimeter in it. Man, it's so close. Man Cave Hobbies, thanks for the £1. Gosh dang it. Stick a slice of mica under it. Yeah. No, I'm going to stop messing around and just order the part. I'm just, like, the decision has already been made for me. I'm just grizzling. I'm just annoyed that I can't one-shot this. So, yeah. At least an excuse to take a deep dive through AliExpress again. To be honest, I'll get it on eBay. So, yeah, let me pull up eBay. Let's go hunting. Right. Get at least 5 of the kind. I probably will, actually, because like I said, I see these speakers... Well, I wouldn't say I see them all the time, but this is like the 3rd or 4th one I've done. So, yeah, it's enough to be worth buying a bunch of them. Actually, on that note, I'm just going to have a quick rummage through here to make sure I don't have any just SATA cables, be gone, to make sure I don't have any random ones. I need to have a big old sort out of this box. It's just got loads of just random components that I've needed for one thing or another. What's that? Anyone want a BIOS chip for an A1398? Right, do we have... Oh! Wow, what is that mega tall boy? Oh, it ain't it, but like, look at this mega tall boy one. Could I make that fit? No, I couldn't. But that's why I'm having a rummage through here. We got anything else? Just make sure. No. What are those? Some random MOSFETs. Diodes. Rummage, rummage, rummage. I think not. What's that? Oh, tactile switches. Oh, are those foam things? Yeah, I want those. Just take those out anyway. And, oh, what's that, just out of interest? Another random USB port. Oh, that's a Type-C port. I'm going to fish that out anyway, because I have actually been collecting spare USB-C ports in another box. So, let me just grab those, just in case. However, I'm about to lose interest in this. I think these are all Type-C USB ports. Right, that's Type-A ports. Type-C. These are mostly Nintendo Switch USB ports in here. And some random other USB stuff. That's Type-C. That's Type-C. Yeah, this is all Type-C. I love these I love that random micro in there anyway, but yeah, no. Goes back in there. Nope, we're ordering it. Gosh darn it. Sag. You'll find one once you've ordered some, maybe. Then I will have one extra, I guess. Right, display. Right. Molly Get Together Mini. Yes, it's a Get Together Mini, so I want USB ports. So let's USB. There we go. Ugh. Plus £5 delivery from Ireland. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Let's see if we can do better than that. No, man. Okay. All right. All right, chat, help me out. We got to find this. We got to find this for not £10 delivered. Is there anything identifiable about that port? No. Arranged by price? No. This eBay search is just garbage now. If we do lowest price and P&P, we'll just get irrelevant stuff. Right, that's the one we just found. And now we just... Oh, that actually doesn't find me anything at all anyway. So yeah. Image search could do. Yeah, search via Google Images. Yeah, I can try that. The problem is that's going to pull up random websites, which doesn't really help me, but we'll try it out. Let's see, image search. Copy image address. There we go. Exact match. Nope, okay. Visual matches. Garbage. Garbage. No, that's not going to work. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. No, not AI mode. No, okay, nope. Let's see, too low. I've add Mali to the search params. I already am. I'm searching for Mali get together mini USB. Actually, let's reduce the search parameters. Let's try Mali get together USB. Let's take the mini off of it. No, okay. USB micro. Whoops, porty. I think we might just be searching random now, which can work, but a bit of a needle in a haystack and just visually identify something. I think there's too much variation to find it this way, though. Sent a potential match to the Discord. All right, hold on. Oh, good shout. Gamer. Yeah, that looks good. Where's our port? Right, so let's identify this. So it's come off of display capture. So the port we've got, so the back is straight. We've got 4 through-hole anchors that are almost perfectly aligned. The forward ones are slightly wider. And it has 2 plastic pegs for location. So, yeah, again, forward ones can be slightly wider. They can bend out. Plastic pegs, yeah, I'd call that a match. And because this is also from a JBL speaker as well, that also makes it likely to be a match just because it's used on similar products. Good job, someone in the comments. Good find. Yeg. Right. How much is a defective speaker? Don't know. Gamer. It is. Let's see. £1.50. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Give me 3 of them. Cool. Right, let's come off of display capture. I'm going to hit buy it now. Mine's cheaper. Oh, hang on a sec. What do you got, Scotty? Where was your suggestion, Scotty? I can't find you. Either drop it in the Discord or give me the search term or the eBay item number. Remember, all eBay auctions have an item number. Where do they put it these days? You can get it in the... it's in the address bar, either way. They're asking £2.50 per port. Yeah, like on a per port basis, it's kind of outrageous. But when you're fixing one of these every 2 months and you're charging the customer 40 quid, what do I care? So yeah, item number in the chat. I've already lost it, so paste it again. Yeah, it's no good telling. It's no good saying it's in the chat. If I didn't see it the first time, I'm not going to see it the second time. Going once, going twice. Nope. Okay, I'm buying this one then. Fair enough. All right, add to basket. Right, I'll put that through in a minute because we might end up buying more stuff for this PS Vita anyway. So I'll leave that basket open for the time being. And I shall minimize that for now. Okay. Right. Hup. Okay, right. That's annoying. I kind of wanted to get this one and done, but we've got to order the part. Am I going to bother? I'll tidy up that further when I've got the new port to put on it. We're kind of done here for now. So have I got any other bits? Not really. So I will just very carefully just loose fit that. Which way up does it go? That way up, I think. Just want to carefully sit that down just so I can put this to one side. There, whatever. That'll do. Right. Ugh. Oh, I forgot to change it to live. It's really odd because live chat... Okay, I've switched to live chat and I still can't see a number. Once again, instead of saying it's in the chat, send it again. Because I've just switched to live chat and I still can't see a number on a page of chat. Yeah. I was going to say, asking me to scan a page of chat for a single number is a very tall order. So, yeah. All right. Cool. I'm going to get those PS Vitas and we're going to take the other one apart and see if we can do anything with the headphone jack on it. Item number in chat. I'm about 20 seconds behind. My number comments are not showing. I'm on live chat. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, man. So yeah. Oh, that's the black one. That works. Has that held its charge? It has. There we go. There's the working PS Vita that we did the Type-C mod on. So yeah, that's all functional now. That's cool. Turn that off again. Power off. And right, so here's the other one. This one didn't have the busted port, but apparently it's got a busted headphone jack. So we're going to have a look at this and see what needs to be done with it. Yeah. You could also just like give me the keyword search, put in the title or something like that. Like... Yeah, there's many ways you can share information. Nice and clean. Yes, I gave it a good clean as well, which made me very happy. Because the black one was kind of grotty, but after it cleaned up really nicely. All right, let's get this guy opened up. Right. Once I've done both of these, I'll be a certified PS Vita professional. Put it in tech chat. Okay, right. Let's go to Discord. Okay. That is the wrong port. Moving on. It's the wrong port. Whoop. Good skills in 2012. Absolutely. I'm kind of a bit more receptive to working on some old stuff in some places just because, like, I don't mind doing dumb repairs on things where I'm just like, okay, I'm not doing any diagnostics, but if you tell me you want me to replace X, then I will replace X, you know. And I just leave it up to the customer to decide whether they're willing to pay for that work to be done. For the Linux adventure, did I try DaVinci or go straight? No, I went for Kden Live. I didn't try Resolve because I wanted to try the open source alternative. Because I think part of the appeal of going to Linux is trying to get rid of any proprietary software. Do you need to come out? I can't remember. I think you do, and actually I've just realised I had 2 screws left over from the other Vita, and I've just realised where they came from. Do I think these things are making a resurgence? Probably not. There is definitely interest in retro consoles. And, that's an interesting looking adapter card there. What is that? Oh, that's, of course, it's some bloody, what's the memory stick? There we go. Good grief. I was looking at that and I was like, what shape is that? And then I was like, I've completely forgotten what the Sony format was. Yeah, it's an SD to memory stick adapter. Neat. Cool. Right, before we go any further, the black Vita has 2 missing screws and I've just realized where they go. Protected SD, actually. Oh, okay. Are you sure? Did they not use memory stick on the Vita? It's not memory stick. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. It's not that I don't believe you. I just don't know these things. Oh. Was it that one? There we go. That's where the missing screws are. Always thought the gumstick-shaped memory stick cards were neat looking. Yeah, they weren't bad, but just SD card just ate their lunch. Were there anyone know if there were any particular advantages to memory stick over SD? Like, was memory stick faster or something like that? Okay, right. Did I take out those 2 screws? I did. So we should be good now. Sony have stopped taking orders for SD and compact flash. Oh, I see. Were they? Does Sony manufacture those? Surely not. Right, that's released. What's holding me up here? I think that might flip up from the bottom. I've already forgotten how this comes off. Oh, probably came down to cheaper licensing. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Oh, there's another cartridge there. Okay, I've just popped out past that. What are you? There's another memory card. Again, some kind of wacky format. What's holding me up here? I feel like I've missed a screw. Oh, there we go. Okay. Disconnect. Right, what were you? A little bit of metal plate has come off there, and what is going on here? Might be that someone's already had an attempt to resolder that. This has been disassembled before. Perhaps my friend has already taken a swing at this, because it's missing one of the bracer plates that the other one had. This bit, there's a little bit of tin plate that's come off of something there, but I can't see where that would have come from. I'm not going to worry about that. That's the special Vita only card. I see. Okay. Fine. Let's get this main board out so we can see the other side of it. So, yeah, same deal. We've got to just disconnect everything. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. Power button. That can kind of flap. That needs to come out. Right, and then on the other side the screen was connected. Let's just get that out of the way. Let's try and lift this out. Oh, I remember. Yeah, this guy needs to come out as well. Yep, okay, that's fine. That's not a huge amount of extra work. Tweezers. The other camera is behind this daughter board. And we need access to that. There we go. Right, so now that's out. This camera can flip out underneath it. There we go. And now we can lift out. And I can very gently just disconnect the screen. A bunch of other bits of plastic fell out there, but we can put that all back in. That's fine. Okay, right. Oh, yeah, okay. Man, honest, I should have bought. I can't believe I didn't get a replacement one. Yeah, someone's tried to single pin soldering iron this, which has just not gone well. And the problem is that the port has been overheated because of the heat in the pins has bulged the plastic. So that needs to be replaced, really. Have I got a 3.5mm jack somewhere? Hold on. I know I saw one the other day. Have a plan. Right. Okay, 3.5mm jack acquired. Right. What if I... Oh, no, no. That feels so gross to plug in. That's just a hard no. That's got to be replaced. No. Okay, I've done goofed. I should have ordered the port. Time to source one again. Gosh dang it. Yeah, if I'd plugged that in and it would have given a nice satisfying click, I would have been like, maybe it works well enough and we just resolder that properly and it'll be alright, but no. By comparison, yeah, that one's got a click to it. It's worn out, but it does actually click. Fine. Back to eBay we go. PS Vita headphone jack. Ugh. Nope. PS Vita headphone jack port. Okay, there's a start. Would you like to buy one for £30, including delivery? Nintendo Switch? Thanks, eBay. Didn't ask. This is all just random other stuff now. Nope. This is what I hate about eBay now. I mean, granted, that's results matching fewer words, but still. Okay. Wow. Does no one have these? AliExpress it is, I guess. Alright, stand by, everyone. Okay. I always need to be slightly careful when opening AliExpress because you never know what you're going to see. PS Vita headphone jack. Try the whole board. What, the whole motherboard? You may as well just buy another Vita. Surely. Oh, that much being said, though, yeah. Headphone jack, headphone port. Here's the Type-C conversions. Man, this is the problem with replacing headphone jacks on laptops as well. It's just impossible to find the port. Revitalize it. PS Vita 3.5 mil. No. If I can't find it on AliExpress, I'm not going to find it on... if I can't find it on AliExpress, I'm not going to find it on eBay. PS Vita 3.5. Audio port. I could try it, but I'm not holding my breath. Audio port. No. No, just that single one from America. Let's have a look at this, see if we can get anything. Yeah, oh, that's PS Space Vita. Let's try that. Audio jack, nah. PS Vita headphone. This is going to be literal headphones, I think. Yeah, okay. Jack. No. Port. Wow, these guys have like the only one on the internet. And also, that's recycled. That's not even a new one. That's been desoldered. All right. Darn. Well, I could try and reflow this one. Part number in the description. I doubt it. No. I'm not happy with this particular transaction. Any boards on eBay? Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's have a look for the whole board just in case. You never know. Let's see. Vita motherboard. Yeah, but like, whoops. It exists, but it's expensive. So like, no, not really. So yeah, I think that's a nope. They must exist somewhere. I'm surprised they don't. Like, I'm surprised there's not more of a fixer community for these. You know, because obviously we've got replacement ports and things like that. But on the other hand, that's a specialist part that you'd have to get made. So, yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what to do about this. Am I sure that that's not going to work? Oh. No, it feels awful. I think it's definitely been cooked. I think I'm stuffed. Right. How would I test it? Because I don't have the cable for this. I could swap the battery with... it requires taking the black one apart again. I don't really want to do that. I'd need to charge this up. Take it off the board and try plugging it in. Yeah, that's not going to help it. Try here. Where is here? Oh, also on AliExpress, I'm just going to do PS Space Vita headphone. No, that's also a bust. Laptop donor port. It's not a standard port. That's why we're having so much trouble finding it. Headphone jacks are always proprietary to the device they've come from for some reason. Or very commonly anyway. Darn. Oh, man. Okay, well this stream is a bit of a bust so far. I'm gonna try reflowing those pins down properly. We've got nothing to lose. Let's see what happens if we do that. And then if I'm lucky, maybe the battery's got a little bit of power in it and we can turn it on. I'm not holding my breath on this, but I'm gonna just try. Gonna try my luck. How are we gonna hold this? That'll probably do. Right, I'm just going to reflow these ports and see if I can get this on properly. Then I'll put it back together again and see if it does something. Otherwise, I think I'm kind of stuffed, if I'm honest. So, check Discord. Okay, when people are telling me to check Discord, tell me what you're putting in Discord just so I know. All right. This is incorrect. This is not vaguely correct. Not even close. Let's see. Z Labs. That one looks promising. Who posted that one? Xeon Ricky, I think, has got a match. However, also it's sold out. So I guess I could send them a message and be like, hey, can you still get those? Yeah. Yeah, Xeon Ricky's post. Xeon Ricky's post looks possible, but they're sold out. So I'd have to contact them and say, hey, can you guys still get this, or is this just sold out forever? So I'll consider doing that. In the meantime, I'm going to reflow this. Right. Let's see what happens. Where's my solder? The solder has disappeared. There it is. I found it. It's under a cloth. Okay. It's too hot. And I've got the wrong thing on it. Gosh dang it. Ow. Damn it. There it is. Different soldering iron tip. Power on. Alright. So, I'm going to flow some fresh solder on here. Let's zoom in a little bit again. Right, we'll see if we can improve this just by reflowing the ports. So I'm going to flow some solder on there and actually heat those a little bit. So they've got some actual solder there. Okay. Let's see what that looks like on the other side. Right, so what I'll do now is... I'm not sure whether to try and single pin solder this by pressing it down or whether to just hot air it. I think hot air is going to put up a really big fight because this port was a bit of an animal when we did the port on the other one. So I'm inclined to not attempt to hot air this. I don't think I'll be able to get enough heat in there without melting the port. If I had a replacement, it wouldn't be a problem because I'd be ripping it out and then I could just clear the holes. But, yeah. Let's see. Kasakov? No, miles off. Not even remotely correct. These are just random ports you're linking here. Right, okay. Let's try and single pin it down. This stream is not going well. I need to position this here. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and heat the pin and then press it down. And then I'm just going to try and step the port in. So if I press down on that while heating, yep, that's okay. Let's bring this in and steady it all. There's no port, no, there won't be any part numbers on it. Right, getting this clamped up in a useful way is a bit tough, so I'm just going to freehand it. Okay, here we go. So, it's one. That one's being stubborn. That one's being very stubborn. Let's get some extra solder on that. Clear up the junky stuff that's there. No. What's holding me up? Let's take some of it out. Where I've pushed it through, there's too much solder there now. Okay. Right. I think I'm now resting on the port, which is stopping me from moving anything. So let's actually try and mount this up. What if I do this? This might get it into a position where I can actually take the strain. iFixit has one for $19. That's interesting. $19 is a lot, but if they've got it, they've got it. There we go. This is better. This is what I should have done. All right. Right, that back one was still a little bit stubborn, but now let's tidy up those top joins. Just take off the excess solder. Wow, that's not flowing properly at all. Come back to that one in a sec. Gosh dang it, I'm off shot. Need a drop of flux. There's already flux in there, but I'm going to add some more onto that one because it doesn't want to go. I think that actually wants more solder, weirdly enough. I think the plating on the hole is gone. Or the hole just isn't plated, which would also make sense. Okay, there we go. That'll do. There's no way that's not making contact. So what I've done is I've tidied up those solder joins. The port is still worn out and is damaged, but it is actually soldered on now, whereas previously there were just some very dry solder joints that were almost certainly not making proper contact. So I doubt that this feels any better when you plug it in. No. But it might work. There we go. Okay. Right. Let's put it in and see what happens. Be gone, be gone, be gone, be gone, be gone. And keep that open and zoom out. There we go. All right. Camera goes there. That goes like that. All right. I'm going to, yeah, no, that all has to go in situ. Ugh. This bit is awkward. Tweezers. Like that it's red inside. I mean, it'll be a molded bit of plastic, won't it? So 123. Right, I'll get that settled in there. Then I will lift it up and connect the screen. There we go. And then the shoulder button will fall out. That can go in a moment. Other shoulder button. Stuff is often sprayed on the inside. Yeah, that's true. They do it for EMI emissions. So presumably this just didn't need that, I guess. Is that correct? That doesn't seem correct to me. I think that goes that way around. Whoops. I only did this a week ago and I've already forgotten everything about it. Yeah, that's definitely correct. Okay. There we go. Then that goes in that away. Nope. And that needs to sit in there. Come on, get in. There we go. It's not too bad to work on, all things considered. Once you're putting things in the correct order, it doesn't fight you that much. You just have to do things in the correct order. That's... oh, yeah, there we go. I was about to say that's not in properly, and then I pushed it and it went in. Good. All right. Other board. So this is face buttons. That goes, yeah, that does go that way around, because then that guy will plug in there. There, good. Right, I'm just trying to think in advance what I'm going to do once I put this back together again, because unfortunately both of these were kind of a bust and I'm a bit annoyed about that. This one's kind of my fault. Well, that much being said, even if I'd looked in advance, I wouldn't have been able to find a replacement headphone jack, it turns out. Although if I'd known that, I probably would have lined up additional content. But yeah, bit annoying that that speaker was a bust. I do still need to finish reassembling that wretched Nano. That glue didn't quite do the trick. It still needs some more fettling, but I can't bring myself to spend another hour on that on stream. I tormented myself enough with that last week. We might have to come up with some interesting topics to talk about. We might actually have to just talk to one another. Board swap them and have the red one play as if it won't play on. Oh, I see. Just, yeah, for the sake of the nice one. Yeah, maybe. It depends on preference, I guess. This one is technically more original and in better condition than the black one. Although I guess the black one now has the Type-C port and a better condition headphone port. And everything else that's been done with this one, these are all just like removable parts, I guess. So, yeah, quite possibly then. That goes on there. Oh, also, did we need to remove those screws? I don't think we did. Let's find out. Yes, we did need to remove those screws. Yeah, okay. Right. I've got some screws to go in down here. I don't like that. Definitely one of the red ones. One of these red screws are missing or out of place. This grey one is this silver one is the correct length. This one I think is slightly longer though. So that one must go through the top. Good. And where did you come from? There. That came from that one that way around because it's got a bend in it. All right. Turbo Quantum, the memory price drop. We don't know. It's hard to tell. Really, I think it's largely coming down to will OpenAI explode? Because they're not doing so good at the moment. I think that will be the bigger shake-up. Turbo Quant is really interesting from a technological perspective. But I don't think it's actually going to solve anything per se. It's not really going to help anything right now. A lot of the market seems to be just extremely reactive rather than... it seems to be extremely reactive rather than predictive, if that makes sense. So... you know, the market's bobbing around. Memory manufacturer stock prices seem to be bouncing around at random, and it doesn't seem to show any meaningful trend. And I think if memory prices come down, that's not because supply has actually eased. It's just because the panic is wearing off because people think that there is less demand for memory now. Although, at least the fact that it looks like OpenAI are not actually going to order 40% of this year's memory, that I think is the real thing that's changed things. Because remember, OpenAI hadn't actually placed an order, they had placed letters of intent, because that's the way all of this nonsense actually works. People are writing letters with saying that they are going to buy stuff that hasn't been made for a data center that no one yet needs, but they are fairly sure there might be a market for. So that's what's making things really strange, is that normal prediction doesn't really work here because everything is so irrational. There we go. Right, you go in there. And you go in there. Or you go in there. Yes. All right. Do you have any battery in you? No. Heck. I could charge the battery. Let's do that. Let's charge the battery. Or is it easier to take the back cover off both of the Vitas and swap them around for a moment? That's the answer. Yes, it is. I didn't want to take the other Vita apart because it's done and finished. However, if I temporarily just swap the back covers around, the black one has a fully charged battery in it, which means I could plug it into this and see if the headphone jack makes sounds. So yeah. Decision made. It's very annoying, constantly taking things apart again, but man, that do be how repair goes. Sometimes you're just taking things apart, putting them back together again, and then having to take them apart a second time. Imagine if they left you with a charger. I should have asked. I don't know why I didn't. I think the problem is I kind of let my arm be twisted on this. I was a little bit curious. I was like, yeah, we could try that out. And, you know, I wanted to impress them by being like, yeah, I can do that for you. And, of course, once I got this far, I'm just like, why did I agree to this? Do you need to come out? You need to come back out again. Yeah. Ejecto cardo. There we go. Okay. Right. Back cover off. So, that's that one. Black Vita. I need something to balance this on. That's fine. You can go there. I'll use this again. I've got this this roll of tape because where the joysticks stick out, if I put it on a bit of tape, I can press down on it without damaging the sticks. So that's why this is here. You found an imported PSP 1000 the other day. Nice. Is it still working? Ooh, that screw is getting tired. Still works though. Do. Do wish that Sony wasn't hung up on making everything so proprietary. Yeah, it's a bit of column A and a bit of column B. They do make things proprietary, but also the thing is that there's not always a standard for what you're trying to do. The Japanese ones are weird. O and X are swapped. Oh yeah, I remember that because X and circle have different connotations in Japan versus in the West, don't they? Because like in the West, X is like, or cross, sorry. Cross is or you know, cross is considered a do stuff button, whereas in Japan, X is like no, so that would be cancel. So they swap them around. It's something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Very strange. I don't know why they didn't do that everywhere. Because like they have different glyphs for PlayStation versus Xbox anyway. So yeah, why would you do that? All right, hold on. There we go. It's popping out. Okay, right. Have I got a plastic prying tool? Yes, I do. Just so I can poke it in there. Boink. And out you come. There we go. Right, so now we have... So this battery is charged. So now if I put this one on the red one, we should be able to power up the red one. And with a bit of luck, we can make it make some noise. I've never used a Vita before, so I've no idea how we're going to do this. But hopefully it'll have some games on it. On one of those cards. Oh, hold up. Oh, are they different? No, they're the same. They're the same, yet it won't go on. Are those the same? Oh, no, I can't tell. No, they are different. Gosh dang it. They are ever so slightly different. Furious. Okay. One more try just to make sure. This is fine. We can just charge the red battery. Yeah, I'm not going to force that. That doesn't want to go on. I'm not going to force it. Okay, let's start getting the red battery charging then. We can do that. Hold on, I need to get some probes. How are we going to get power into that? I guess the sharp multimeter probes will fit. They're both 1003. Let's check. So is this the model number we're looking for? PCH 1000? PCH 1003. Yeah, this one's 1003, the other one's 1000. Are those different subversions? Yeah, they're so close to each other. That's not going to stay in place. Pair of razor blades and some crocodile clips. Terrible. Terrible. No. Can I stab them from the back? Oh, I could unpin it. I can unpin it. Okay. I think we can figure out a way to charge this battery. This is kind of dumb and stupid, but this is whatever. I've got nothing else to do on this stream, so we're gonna do some dumb stuff. So I'm going to just gently unpick this connector. We don't need the middle pin, we just need the red and the black. Alright, hold on. Black. I want to get this on charge and then I'll put together the black one again. There we go, and red. Okay, right. crocodile clips. Oh no, I've only got the crap ones. It's good enough. These crocodile clips I've got aren't very good. The banana jacks on them don't make a very good connection, but they should be good enough for now. Plug that into the power supply. Wow, that feels genuinely awful. Can I do any better than that? Nope. Okay, so be it. Right, what are you? 8.2 watt hours. That must be a it must surely be a standard battery. So I'm going to stick that on at, let's be really safe and just bash it in at 3.8. 3.8, 500 milliamps. Super safe settings, just in case. I'll just quickly take a measurement before I start. Yes, I have no charger. That's why we're doing it jank. You don't need a charger when you have a bench power supply. Wow, that battery is stone flat? I think it might be. Just going to check that there's nothing going on the white pin. The white pin is going to be a thermal sensor, but I just want to double check that there's nothing there. No, there isn't. Good. Okay. The USB-C mod unit, it did work, yes. The battery was stone dead on it, but it did recover. Oh, these banana jacks are crap. All right, there we go. We are charging. Okay, that'll do. So we're putting some power into that battery now. I've just turned on my my power supply at 3.8 volts and 500 milliamps. So we're just going to gently get some power into it. And hopefully that will give us enough power to just turn it on and see if it's giving some audio. Okay, right. Red one's a different board. It's Japan only. Okay. So in that case, oh, they both have the same. They both have the same face button layout, though. Right, we'll put the black one back together again because we're done with this. What a faff. This is the second stream in a row where I felt, well, no, the first one, this was a success. So, yeah. I was about to say, this is the second stream in a row where I feel like I've faffed about and not really achieved any of my goals. But the Type-C mod on this one was a success, so I'll take that. Put that back together again. Alright, that should turn on. Yes, good. Photosensitive epilepsy. Good. And I will turn it back off again. And put the screws back in. Oh, and I jogged the dodgy cables. Might have to give this battery some hurry up. It's not taking a lot of current. All right. Ever thought about doing a video on the USB-C power delivery bench power things? Mostly they only go up to 21 volts, but they look interesting. Yeah, possibly. Because like 21 volts is enough. For most hobbyist stuff, you don't need more than that. It depends on what current they can do. If they can do a decent amount of current, then yeah, that would be kind of neat. And I would find that slightly interesting. My only concern would be how hard they are on the power supply that you're using. So yeah. What do you think of the screen on it? Very early OLED. Yeah, I was aware that these things were OLED. The blacks on it looked very good, but the that set the date screen looked kind of washed out, I thought, which I thought was very strange. Getting the Type-C on the Vita is a massive plus. Yeah, I have a suspicion that my friend only wanted it done on this one just because it was only worth doing if the port is broken. If the original port isn't broken, then keep it original. I think that's the theory. Right, I need to wiggle the cables on this because it's not charging. Also, what is that hole? That's something else. Come on. Damn it. What even is this port at the top? Is this like a link port for multiplayer or something? Alright. Black one is done again, and I've successfully covered the screen in fingerprints after I so carefully cleaned it. Fine. And can we get a better connection into this battery? Unless it's just genuinely gone up to 3.8 volts, which would be extremely concerning. Extreme doubt. Okay. Let's turn off the power supply for a second, just see what the voltage has gone to. It does nothing. They never made anything to plug into it. Whack. Just planning for a future that never occurred, I guess. Did GPS connect with that port? God, did they make it? GPS would be so funny. Like, part of me is just like, they didn't, but also, of course, they might. Right, we've got that up to 3.3, so we've put some power into it. Okay, let's see if I can get a bit more charge into that. Could this banana jack be less crap? Alright, I'm going to give it 4.2. Okay. Bumping it up to 4.2 volts has given me 500 milliamps again, so we're getting some more charge into it now. Let's give that a couple of minutes. Needs a bit more than 3.3, yeah. Okay. GPS was PSP only, maybe. They put it there because they had the port on the PSP, and they did make a camera and a GPS module for it. Oh, I see, yeah. The SIM version of the Vita had built-in GPS. That's wild. This is such a... These things are such oddball consoles. They're just like... They're incredibly extra, aren't they? There's just... They do so much more than they need to do. Like... When was the Vita? When did the Vita come out again? What year were these things? Because part of me is just like, who needed GPS on a Vita? But like, if you predate smartphones, then yeah, I guess. ...2011. Yeah. I mean, 2011... I mean, yeah, so... the iPhone is already out by then. But... So the iPhone is out, but most people still have a dumb phone. So I guess you could kind of... If you're Japanese and you're navigating cities... having GPS on your pocket console is kind of cool. 2011, you had iPhone 4. Really? Were we up to the 4 already? Ever tried Bazite? Not yet. I want to have a look at Bazite. I want to dislike Bazite. It's a bit too gamer core for me. However, I've been doing my Linux test drive on Mint, and I want to see what Bazite and Kashi look like to do a comparison. I'm put off by the direction of Bazite because the immutable kernel means that it's just not it has certain limitations on what updates you can do to it, and in addition to that. Word on the wire is that some of the Bazite moderators are kind of treating it as their personal operating system, where they'll just roll in anything they think is cool, regardless of whether it's like stable or not. So I don't think I'd want to daily drive Bazite, but I do want to check it out and see what the fuss is about. I assume GPS in cities was even worse in 2011. That's probably also true, yeah. Vita was too expensive, yeah. Yeah, handhelds are expensive at the moment because when we look at handhelds, your option is basically the Switch, which is a bit overkill for a handheld. It's a bummer that the DS died. I feel like the DS didn't... I feel like the Nintendo DS, or the 3DS to be exact, I feel like Nintendo never quite nailed that. We never quite had a 3DS SP. Like, everyone agrees that for the Game Boy, once they got to the Game Boy Advance SP... That was it. That was peak Game Boy. The SP was the one where they nailed it. Everything was perfect. Whereas I feel like the 3DS never quite had that same moment where they had like the perfect one, you know. GBA SP was king, real. I never owned an SP, but my sister did, and I borrowed it all the time because it was better than my Game Boy. Dual screens was always a fad. I agree. It was just an unnecessary complication, adding more expense to the console. Ever tried a DS repair? Yeah, I've tinkered with DSs before, and yes, they're awful to repair. Absolutely awful. I've not had to look at one in a long time, though, thankfully. Okay, right, let's see how we're doing on this battery. I'll turn off the power supply again. Let's see what voltage we're holding. 3.54. We might have that at like 5% or something. We're going to full send it. Let's see if we've got enough. Now I have to put this connector back together. Right. Let's see if we've got enough battery power in that for it to turn on and do something. Can't believe those battery connectors are different. I'm livid. It's not a different design. It's obviously just like a different batch number. Okay, right. I guess I'll put this thing back in. I've no idea where the games would actually be stored on this, whether they're on the SD card or this card. Might be both. Might be the system's on one and the games are on the other or something. Oops. Oh, that's not in properly. Yeah, okay, let's just pop that out. There we go. That's fine. Plug in the audio cable beforehand. Will it make noises when it starts up then? Oh, actually, let's turn those speakers down. It's a totally different board, I guess. Ugh. Doesn't feel good. But if it works, it works. Right, I've turned on the speakers. Nothing. I don't think the battery's got enough juice in it. No, the battery doesn't have enough in it. Like, the battery was reading 0. The battery had collapsed, and we put some charge in it, but I don't think it's got enough in it, and as soon as we've applied a load to it, the voltage is collapsed again. Top card is for physical games, the other one is for downloaded Store Plus media. Okay, that's fair. Should see a low battery and do... Yeah, I mean, unless the battery is collapsed. So let's just see what the voltage has dropped down to. See if I can probe it while it's plugged in. I did plug those in the right way around, I'm fairly certain. We can easily check in a minute. .52. Yeah, no, there's power there. And they're the correct way round as well, otherwise we'd be getting 0. Yeah, and we've got a reading on the thermal sensor as well. Can I not use the bench power supply to power the Vita? I'd need to hotwire some. I'd need to jumper some hot wires. I'd need to hotwire some jumpers onto it, which I don't really want to do. And also, it might not turn on without having the thermal sensor connected as well, which is an added complication. So it's just like, technically, yes, that can be done. Just jumper super flat, yeah. It can be done, It's just a bit of a hot mess to do it. Going to try it one more time. Are you sure you're not going to turn on? Oh, let's just make sure that the power button is actually plugged in properly as well. Which it is. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. I'd expect it to do something at this point, yeah. Can I get this to stick in again? Oh yeah, oh gosh, this card just keeps blocking everything. There we go. Yeah, I think we're out of luck on this one, if I'm honest. No, there's no one at home on that. By the time you've done that, it'll be charged. Yeah. Is it possible the battery management is locked out? This one won't have a battery management unit because it's just a simple cell, so that's fine. It's possible the battery just needs more power, but I don't particularly want to sit and watch a battery charge on stream. So I might just say kind of donezo for now. What would it take for me to hotwire some wires in there just so we can charge it in a slightly, well, I say less janky way. It's trading one bit of jank for a different bit of jank, but maybe something a bit more accessible. We could, you know. Okay, you know what? Let's get crazy. Hold on a minute. Let's get wild. These wires are probably too thin, but I'm going to try it anyway. All right, hold on. This is kind of dumb, but in for a penny, in for a pound. $5 into the charger port. No, it's not accessible. I'm gonna solder some jumper wires onto the back of the battery connector. It's possible that the Vita turns off at 3.5 volts. That's what I'm thinking. Because even though, even though batteries are not really dead until 3.0, a lot of devices will just be pretty fussy about it. Right, where's my solder gone? It's there. I just need to tin up this bit of wire. I think this wire is going to be too thin. Have I got something? Yeah, I do actually. We could get a bigger wire onto it. Yeah, that would work. Yeg. Also, we could jump onto that. Let's do that. That's very clearly a battery connector. And this tip is way too small for this. But that's fine, it's on. And then we need a ground. Let's make that a little bit less ratty. These are just some, oops, these are some random bits of wire I've just picked up off my desk, so. Come on, don't make me change the soldering iron tip. Don't make me change the soldering iron tip. I don't want to. Oh my gosh. Okay. Flux doesn't work if there's no heat. There we go. That'll do. That's on. It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be on. Whoop. Right. Okay, so now we can jump power straight into it. Let's just try giving it power with no battery first and see if it wants to go. I'll be surprised if it wants to start without the I'll be surprised if it wants to start without the thermal sensor connected. What else have we not got connected here? There is what is this guy down here? Some kind of module in the back. Then we've got rumble sensors as well. Not sure how much of this we need connected. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's the back touchpad. I see. All right. No, it doesn't want anything. Yeah, polarity is correct. Nope. Okay. Let me just see if I can get the battery on there at the same time, because then it has the thermal sensor. And also then we can connect the back thing. Ah, okay, it's pulling current now. Oh, that's because the battery is charging. No, it just doesn't want to turn on. It's got 4.2 volts now, and the battery is on charge, but it doesn't want to switch on. As far as the console is concerned, the battery is now fully charged. So, like, if it was going to turn on, it would have at this point. So, yeah. That's a no from me. Yeah, it's dead. Okay, right. I'm going to take off those jumper cables because we're not achieving anything with those. There we go. Yeah, this would need further diagnostics, which I don't have the expertise to do. So yeah, I don't think there's much more I can do with this thing at this point. So I'm going to put the screws back in on this. I've kind of fiddled around with it. I've tried to make good on it. I guess it would have been good to know if it worked from the get-go, but these things have been in storage for who knows how long, so at some point they would have been working, but yeah, we don't know. Right, I'll zap these screws in for the sake of putting it back together. Is the red LED turning on when charging? No, no signs of life from the LED. But yeah, the black one works well, so yeah, one of them works. Long storage, longer startup time. Yeah, but it's not giving any signs of life at all. Like, I'm holding down the power button and it's not giving the charge indicator isn't doing any flashes at all. And holding down the power button for like, a couple of seconds, the screen was not lighting up. It wasn't drawing any additional power either. So like, it wasn't giving me any signs that there was anyone at home. So isn't it meant to be 5 volts? It would be 5 volts into here, but we were jumping directly onto the battery, which is 3.7 nominal, 4.2 max, because it's a LiPo cell. Or a lithium-ion cell, if you want to be pedantic. So yeah. Put the card back? Yeah, I'll put those back in a sec. Right. SD card is already in the top. Nope, I think I'm somewhat defeated this stream, which makes me sad. It would have been nice to at least get one of these things going, but I think I've done my best and I've been stonewalled. Leave it on for a longer time connected to the charger. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'll take it back to my friend for the time being, because it helps if I put the card in the right way around. I'll take it back to my friend for the time being because he's got the actual correct charger for it, so he can charge it properly instead of me doing a jank battery jump start. And in addition to that, for the time being, the original problem of the headphone jack, it looks like I doubt that's going to work properly. It just doesn't feel like looking at the state of the jack and plugging in a headphone line. It just felt super bad, and I'm like, I don't see a world where that's going to work. So the project is kind of on hold until we track down a replacement port for it. And honestly, I'm going to make my friend do that. I'm going to say to him, I'm happy to put that on there, but I'll leave it to you to do the legwork of emailing suppliers and trying to find one. So yeah. However, it did not want to turn on at 4.2 volts. So yeah. Lamp. What is lamp? But for the time being, I'm finished here, I think. This stream has been a little bit of a bust. I would have been happy if I started out with that Marley speaker specifically because I thought that was going to be an easy win. So, yeah. Right. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's going to be a short one today, I think. But yeah, that hasn't super gone to plan, but at least I've looked at it now. I've done my bit. Oh, yes. Sorry, you were addressing Lamp. Hello, Lamp. Cool. Right, yeah, thanks for tuning up. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Not a great result today, but it is what it is. I'm going to head out because I don't have much else lined up. So, yeah, we'll be back next week. Caradog will be back, and I'll try and actually make sure we've got something interesting lined up, so at least we have more stuff to work on. But yeah, today ain't it for me, I don't think. So, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Have a nice Easter. Buy chocolate eggs when they're on sale. That's what I'm going to do. Right. Toodaloo, everyone. Bye. I've got to find the thing. End stream. Bam.